I'm going to tell you straight, leads are not your problem. Today I'm going to show you where leads actually come from and why most painters stay broke chasing the wrong one. Let's get into it. But first, I'm Alessandro Sanford, aka the Sandman, 800K Kingdom entrepreneur and paint contractor and business mentor. And this channel exists to help Christian paint contractors just like you crush chaos, build a business that runs without you so that you can enjoy more time, more freedom, and more spiritual clarity. So here is the absolute truth about painting leads. They are a byproduct, not the goal. The real goals are attention, trust, and speed. How y'all doing? Romans 10:14 puts it this way. How then can they call on the one they have not believed in? And how can they believe in the one whom they have not heard? And how can they hear without someone preaching to them? This is the attention part, guys. This passage clearly lays out the fact that you need your customers to be aware of you first before anything else can happen. You need your potential clients to know that you even exist. And I'm willing to bet right now that your customer doesn't know that you exist. Or your potential customer doesn't know that you exist. So you think that you're looking for leads. One of the things that you're really looking for is awareness. You want them to know who you are, that you are actually even an option. Think about this. Listen, if you understand fishing, you understand you want to fish where the fish are. So if there is a pond that is being stocked, you're going to get decent results fishing in that pond, are you not? Yes or yes? Yes, absolutely. But isn't it better if you went to fish in the actual fish hatchery? How many know that there's gonna be way more fish in that environment? Abso-freaking-lutely there is. But the fish hatchery is the place where all of the stuff happens. The ponds get stocked from the fish hatchery. So what I'm telling you is that you getting leads is like you fishing out in the pond itself. Now, when you go straight to the fish hatchery, that's the attention getting thing. That's where your biggest leverage is in this process. So I want you to think about not getting leads. I want you to think about leads being a byproduct and a downstream effect of you actually producing awareness for your company. So the first goal is awareness. The second real goal is trust. You want your prospects to know that you are a trustworthy company. You and I both know that there are so many fly-by-night, chuck-in-a-truck contractors out here that are just doing all kind of crazy, horrible work, right? You know that, I know that. Your customer or your prospect also knows that. So you have to build trust with them so that you separate yourself out from all the contractor nightmares that are out there. So you have to position yourself so that you become the trustworthy company that people want to do business with because they are already looking for a trustworthy company. And that's you, right? So trust is the second goal. The third goal that you're really after is speed. What if I told you that I could provide you with 100 leads? How many would raise your hand? You say, hey, I'm in for it. Okay, great. The key question to ask here is over what amount of time? If I could promise to deliver you 100 leads over 50 years, who wants to take that deal? Not very many, right? That's 2 leads a year. That sucks. But if I were to promise you 100 leads in the next 30 days, I mean, now we're cooking with gas. That is the importance of time. The other way I want you to think about time is this. I want you to think about time as a multiplier. If you keep planting the kind of seeds that we're talking about today, then leads over time are going to be the natural byproduct. You see, fruit follows the seed. The things that I'm talking to you about today are the things that are the seeds. And the seeds are the things that if you do them over time, they're going to produce leads. The leads are the fruit. The seeds are the actions that I'm talking to you about right now. So now that you know the real game is attention, trust, and speed, not necessarily leads, now you're on game. Now you can do something amazing with what we're talking about. Can I be real about why most painters struggle? And I know this because I've been in the game for over 2 decades, and I've also mentored other painting businesses. One of the biggest reasons why painters struggle with getting leads is they have random processes. Random, just random. The effort that they put forth is random. They're not consistent with anything. Their system and their process for doing so is random. Guys, this is a huge part of why you're right here doing this video, is because You're random. And I'm not afraid to tell you that because I want you to do better. I want better for you just like you want better for you. And the first step is recognizing the things that are wrong so that we can get it right. The second real problem that I see is that there's no repeatable system. There's randomness and then there's no repeatable system. So if you have these two things solved in your business and you're aiming for the right goal, not necessarily just for leads, but you're aiming for the right goal, then you're going to produce the right kind of results in your business and you're going to have more leads than you know what to do with. Let me ask you this. If Angie or Thumbtack or even word of mouth, if those kind of leads went away tomorrow, would your business survive? If your answer is no, then you have to solve this immediately. So let's get to the 3 lead buckets that every good painting business owner must master if you're gonna have a great business. So bucket number 1 is your owned attention, okay? Attention that you own. This is your highest leverage bucket right here. This is where you want to spend most of your energy trying to build. This is stuff like your website, your Google business page, your branded truck, and your past customers list. So let's break these down a little bit. Your Google business page, this is important because this is a free resource for you and it will get you listed on a Google Maps feature, and you can be one of the top searched painting companies that come up when people are searching for your kind of business. This leads to a lot of leads. This also leads to more exposure. The next thing, your website. This is extremely important that you have a web presence. This is 2026, guys. I can't stress enough to you that you have to have a website. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. It could be 2 pages, it could be 1 page. But what I'm encouraging you to do is to make sure that you have a website that is searchable, that people can find you and they can see that you're a legitimate business. This also helps you own the traffic that comes to your website. You can retarget these people by pixels, and you can follow these people around the internet essentially, and make sure that they know that when they're ready to buy, that you're top of mind and ready to do business with them. Let's talk yard signs and branded trucks. Here's what you need to know. Your prospect, the ideal customer that you want to work with, they're going to need to see you a minimum of 8 times before they trust you enough to do business with you. That's what the stats say. If you think that having a yard sign in a neighborhood is not a big deal, you are missing the importance. You're missing the point. You might not get a call that week. You might not get a call that month, but this is doing work for you undercover, especially in the neighborhoods that you want to be in. It's the same thing with your branded trucks, guys. Listen, you might not have to have a fully wrapped truck, but at least have some magnets so that your company is in people's line of sight. It's in their vision when they're driving, okay? They need to know if it's on your trailer or on your truck. I don't care if it's something small, big, whatever the case might be. They need to see your name in lights, because once they get to that 8 contact threshold, then they are going to recognize you as a reputable company ready to buy. And this is something that happens subliminally. It's not magic, okay? These people are not saying, oh, I'm counting up to 8 times that I see that company. No, it is happening in the background. These people don't even recognize that it's happening. And this is the same way that you make purchases. You subliminally are looking for signals and signs that this is a reputable company and a company that you want to do business with. The last thing that's on your owned attention list, the highest leverage bucket, is your existing customer list. This is one of the most overlooked resources that you have. You don't even know the gold mine that you're sitting on. Most paint contractors are sitting on 10 to 30K of revenue that is unrealized because they are not tapping into their past customer list. Send them a text, send them an email regularly saying, hey, hope you had a fantastic experience with us. Is there any other projects that you have coming up? You will be surprised at how many things that people just need to be reminded of or just need someone to push on so that they can get the project rolling. Your customers are busy. They are not really thinking about you. You have to come to them and say, hey, hello, I'm here. Look at me, I want to do a project with you. That was a wonderful project we did before. Don't you feel great about it? Let's do it again. That's your responsibility. This is the stuff that compounds over time. This is the stuff that will put your business over the top. But the problem is that we overlook this stuff because it sounds pretty boring. Yard signs, websites, yawn, who cares? Old customer list, past customer list, who cares? No, these are the things that you're sitting on a gold mine that is waiting to be tapped. And if you're sitting here thinking, man, why can't I have consistent lead flow? This is one of the reasons, because you're neglecting one of the highest leverage buckets that you can have. Don't make the mistake that you think it's boring and you don't do it, because that will kill your business. Now let's go to bucket number 2. This is borrowed attention. The first one is owned attention. This one is borrowed attention. This is trust and relationship capital right here. This is where you leverage relationships to build your lead engine. So these are things like referrals, not only from past customers, but also from people that you know in your family and friend network, your church network. All of these things are important. These are people oftentimes that are really connected that you want to be connected to, like realtors, for example. They have huge Rolodexes full of different kinds of people, and they're connecting always. They're trying to fish for their next lead, and so they are always meeting new people. New people are coming into their sphere all the time. And if they can be connectors, then they gain capital in their own sphere. So you have to be recognizing who it is in your life is a connector. Who is it that you can build relationships with that is connecting other people, that's putting other people on, that is giving other people referrals? Because this is one of the ways that you can earn business by not a lot of effort, but very strategically connecting with a few people. The other people that you can connect with is other contractors or builders or related industries that might not necessarily be painting, but that will refer business to you, and you can refer business to them if they're reputable. You can get one connector that will be worth 30 different leads, because they're going to connect you to other people, and then those other people are also likely to be the same kind of person, also connectors. So this is what you want to do. Leverage other people's self-interest. They have an interest in referring other people to you, and so you can capitalize on that. So realize that people operate on their own self-interest. So if you can find where your self-interest and other people's self-interest connect, then that is a beautiful, beautiful meeting spot. Let's look at bucket number 3. Bucket number 3 is rented attention. So we went to owned attention. We walked through, whoa, there was a bird. A little heron flying around in the marsh here. All right. Let's get back to it. Bucket number 3 is rented attention. So we want to also leverage not just the owned attention, not just borrowed attention, but rented attention. Now, when we rent something, we pay a fee for it, but then we get use for it temporarily. And so this is where you're talking about your paid ads, okay? This is where you're talking about Google ads and Facebook ads and Google local service ads. This is where that stuff fits in this bucket right here. This is also where you're going to be buying leads, like from Angie and Thumbtack and that kind of thing. Listen, I gotta tell you, I am not a fan of buying leads. Not a big fan. From Angie and Thumbtack, that is. I'm much bigger on Facebook and Google ads and Google local service ads, because yes, you are renting, okay, that attention, but it turns into owned attention, and more high quality owned attention, because now that contact information you have, and you're not competing with 5 other contractors to get that lead, to get that job. So those competition, pay per lead services, they are very difficult to maintain the ROI on. I've used them before. It's okay in a really big emergency, but I would much rather run Facebook ads or Google ads than to purchase leads. It's just not really worth it. Now, if you are buying leads, it is very important that you understand that you are in a race to be the first one to get to this lead. And not only are you in a race to be the first one to get to the lead, you are also in a long-term nurture game now. You can't just say, okay, I called them one time, that lead is bad, that lead is dead. No. What you have to understand is you're now in the nurture business. You got to treat this lead as if it is a baby. Okay, babies need all kind of stuff done for them. You can't assume that the baby is going to come to you and tell them what they need. You have to go to the baby and do all the stuff for the baby. You have to chase these prospects. If you're not willing to commit to calling them once a day for the next 14 days, okay, and then following up by text and also following up by email, then you are not ready to maximize your ad spend. You're just not. So if you're not willing to do it, or you don't have anyone on your staff to do it, then you're not ready for this kind of responsibility. But this, if you have a solid process in place, this is where you can really, really scale your business. This is where you can have the kind of business where you can turn on a specific amount of ad spend. And if you know your numbers, if you know your closing rate, your closing percentage, if you know your average job size, then you can really dial in some amazing growth right here in this particular area. So now that you know that there are 3 different buckets of leads, and now that you know what the right order or hierarchy of how to pursue them, now you've got a little bit better focus. And a lot of people say, man, listen, I don't get really good quality leads, and I beg to differ. It's not usually the lead. It's slow response, it's a weak follow-up, and it's no sales process. Remember, the first contractor to the job typically wins. And when that doesn't happen, the one who stays in contact the longest typically wins. When you win on both of those fronts, you're gonna stop chasing leads all over the place. You're gonna get focused, and you're gonna have a system that lets leads come to you and that you can nurture and leverage. When you understand that truth, that it's not the quality of the lead, but it's your process, man, everything will open up for you. I pray that you would get to that point in your business. So all that to say this, guys, you don't probably need more leads. What you probably need is to do more with the leads that you actually get. Now, I've given you a lot of information, but here's the 3 things I want you to take away. I want you to start doing this week. And these are actions that compound on themselves. So number 1, I want you to ask a prior customer who has not left you a Google review yet to leave you a Google review. Call them up on the phone, send them a text message with the actual link, or send them an email with the link. Make it easy for them. Ask them. Every week you're gonna put someone on your list that you're gonna ask for a Google review. What this does is it puts your Google business page up close to the top to where you are earning leads. You're earning more leads, you're getting more attention. And remember, attention is one of the things you're really looking for, not necessarily leads. The second thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna ask for 1 referral per week. Okay, go through your either your personal contact list, your church group, your civic organizations, whatever, your HOA, whatever the case might be. Talk to the people that you know in your personal network. Ask one person if they have a referral. You can also do this with your previous customers. Make sure that they know that you are looking for a referral, and you can have a specific kind of referral to say, hey, listen, I'm looking for someone who's just moving into their home. Who do you know that just moved into a new home? And the last thing I want you to do as an action is every week I want you to reach out to one person who is going to be a networking person or a connector for you. Someone who you know is in an industry where they meet a lot of people or refer a lot of people, or they're just a social butterfly. That kind of person, that's who you want. Reach out to them, ask them and say, hey, listen, I am looking for exterior paint jobs, whatever the case might be. What are you looking for in particular? Give them a focus and then let them do the hunting. So I don't want to just leave you with something to do. I also want to leave you with something to stop doing, because this is a problem with you and me, okay? We're doers. We like to get out and we do, and we add stuff onto our plate until we are overflowing and we can't handle all the stuff that we have. So I'm gonna add 2 stop doing things on your list. Number 1, stop chasing all kinds of tactics. I will be very honest with you, okay? If you're going to scale to $1 million or more in your painting business, you have to master few things. You don't have to master 10, 20 different things, okay? Even in your marketing efforts, even in the process of getting leads, you do not have to do 20 different things. You have to do 5 to 6 things really well. So I want to encourage you, stop chasing all kinds of new tactics. Settle in, focus, choose 3 to 4 things that you really want to major on. Get down and dirty into it, get into the nitty-gritty, understand how those processes work, and get really effective at it. This is the way, okay? Double down on the stuff that you know works, okay? And that you are working well. The other thing I want you to do is to stop trying to copy other painters blindly. You don't know anything about their business. You don't know anything about their business model. You don't know where they are in their revenue or revenue goals. You don't know any of that stuff. Stop trying to copy. Stay in your lane. Do what you know is effective, and again, narrow it down to the things that you can be effective in. This is critical. I can't stress to you how important it is for you to have the identity of a business owner, not someone who's always chasing tactics, not someone who's always chasing their tail and their schedule, and they're just overworked and absolutely overburdened with stuff to do. That is most of us. I do not want that to be you. You have to maintain a different identity, a new identity, a real, true business owner, not someone who's always chasing after the next thing. I'm telling you, being faithful to few things is much better than that frenzied life. Faith over frenzy. And you've got to get used to the fact that chaos is not a signal of honor, right? It's not a badge of honor to be chaotic and to be busy and to be running from one thing to the next all day long. That's not a badge of honor. Calmness, peace, stillness, that is the badge of honor. That's what we're looking for. And that is the truth about getting painting leads that no one else will tell you, but I will. I ain't scared. So like this video if it helped you, if you got something out of it. Comment, what are some of the things that you have tried that have been super effective? Or what have you tried that's been an absolute failure? Drop it in the comments here. Like this video, subscribe if you want more content that's going to help you crush contractor chaos, build a business that runs without you, and reignite your spiritual fire. I'll see you on the next one.